Hi guys, thanks for joining me and welcome to my channel. It's Veroosh and this is the Pick a Card channel, so it's separate from my main channel. Today I have a viewer request. Well, it wasn't a request for a reading, it was just one of the members on the main channel was asking me questions. She's wonderful and she's been really wonderful for a long time, and so her question was around whether or not she should take the next step with someone and whether or not that's going to be more serious. So this reading is all about, should you move in with him and other serious things. Now, if you guys are interested, sign up to this channel separately. I am going to do love readings here. So Pick a Card channel will feature love readings, pick a card readings, and we'll start today. You have options number 1, 2, and 3, and we're gonna get right into it, and I hope that you like this. So thanks for stopping by. I'm just gonna move these cards over here so we have enough space for the spread. So if you chose number 1, this reading is for you. We have quite a bit of sun that we're working here with today, so hold on tight. But I think it's going to be okay. It's intermittent sun, so it can go dark and bright. Okay, so should you move in with this person, how it's going to work out, and what is it going to lead to? So for number 1, we have the angel Raziel, the angel of mysteries. So there's things in this situation that you're not aware of yet, and I feel like there is a lot about this situation that is below the surface. We'll take a look at it a little bit closer. Then we have the 2 of Wands, spread your wings. And so in some ways this is saying that going in this direction for you is to take on different things you've never tried before. And so I feel like the energy really has to do with going slow. I know you're very excited about taking the next step with your partner or friend or whatever, and I feel like you really have a lot of hope for this situation, but there is this feeling that maybe there are certain things that you're not quite aware of yet, so those will come up in the future. The next message is the 7 of Wands. So there will be a little bit of negotiating between you and this person about like how things are supposed to go, who's responsible for what, and so you are going to have this conversation together, and I think you should really stick to the things that you're looking for with regard to this situation. So not be too demanding or anything, but I think that the idea is that you do ask, you know, for what you want, or stick by what you want in this situation. And then we have the Ace of Wands. I wonder if you're dealing with a fire sign, because we have 3 Wands cards. But I think that you're going to take a different look at this perspective once you start this situation, once you start taking a look at it differently. There might be a different opportunity that arises for you in terms of where you will live or how things will go. I think your mind's going to change about things. That doesn't mean that you don't want to move in with this person, but something else is going to come into your life that affects the way that you think about it. And then we have the 7 of Pentacles, awaiting results. So I feel like this is going to lead to a positive outcome with regard to stability, with regard to getting your life where you want it to go. I have a feeling that you still are going to find out some things that you're not considering now, whether it is about this person or this situation. There's more to it that you're going to find out, and that's going to lead to different perspectives and also different things that you want to do. So some other opportunity may come up, or something else will change about the situation that's going to change what you want from it. So you might feel very eager to move forward right away, but I feel like you should bide your time and know that the situation is changing and new things are coming into this situation. And so don't jump into it too fast, okay? Then we have the Page of Swords, Gemini, Aquarius, or Libra. We have the Queen of Swords, Gemini, Aquarius, or Libra. And then we have the Nine of Swords. Okay, that's Mars in Gemini. And Page of Wands, Sag, Leo, or Aries. Okay, so I feel like you have an expectation of what you want in a relationship in general. Maybe you've never lived with anyone before, or maybe this is your first time living with someone after a long-term relationship, so maybe this is only the second person that you've ever tried to be more serious with. But I feel as though you have ideas about what should be happening and how it should be happening and that kind of thing. And this to me is telling me very clearly that you shouldn't be forcing an idea of what things are supposed to be like. You know, don't believe something just for the purpose of believing it. In this situation, you might have a rise in awareness. In fact, it's saying you will have a rise in awareness about this situation. And in that process, you will in some way realize that maybe some of the things you believe to be true are not necessarily about life, not this person in specific, but it's going to affect the relationship. But the things you believe to be true are not necessarily as resonant as you need them to be, or not exactly what you need them to be. It's going to be different. And then I think that's going to lead you to a new beginning. Now, I'm not saying away from this person at all. I just feel like what you are expecting now, it's almost like, you know, learning what you're supposed to know about a situation. It's like kissing somebody for the first time. When you don't know how to kiss someone for the first time, you have so many strange expectations about how that's supposed to go. But once you start kissing somebody, you kind of learn how that works on your own way, and it's totally different than what your expectations might be. This is no different. So I think that part of the situation here is expectations. And I think that in some way you are going to come to realize that how you're thinking about it and what you're expecting from the situation is different than what in actuality is the most functional or the best possible outcome. Okay, let's take a look at more cards. We have the Strength card here. Okay, these are oracle cards. They're not tarot cards. These are angel cards. And then we have the Angel Whispers. Okay, Gemini, Aquarius, or Libra. Right here, it really is showing that you are coming into a greater awareness and your mind is being open and you're maturing regarding this issue. Like you're learning a lot. So that's going to be in your future. So you're definitely going to mature in this situation and learn a lot from this experience and learn what you want in this situation, how you want things to be, how you want things to go. Let's see the next message. We have the releasing energy. So there's definitely going to be a release of expectations. Maybe you realize you want something else. Maybe you have been just pursuing something, or somebody has wanting to pursue something for, how do you say, for reasons, it's like because without actually really thinking about it. So you want to achieve something because that's what you feel you're supposed to do. But then you come to realize that the thing that you're supposed to do is not necessarily in actuality the thing that's best for you. And then we have the awakening energy. I think you're up for a wonderful awakening. And I think you'll have new expectations or desires here. Let me show you the card because it got really bright. So you'll have new expectations and new awarenesses that are going to come up in your life through this process. So by no means should you back off from the desire to go forward with this direction, but at this time be also prepared that maybe your expectations of what you want will change, and some of you are going to shift what you are looking for out of this situation or in life in general. Okay, so the next card is, we have bite-sized steps. I've been saying this, if you guys have watched a lot of my readings, and even on Instagram, I said words like baby steps. So this is take bite-sized steps, Baby steps is from a movie called What About Bob? It's from the 90s, I think. I was a little kid when it came out, but it was like a comedy. It was really funny. But anyway, so take bite-sized steps can refer to the fact that you are excited about something that you don't know a lot about yet. And so this is encouraging you in the same way that I kind of picked up in the beginning, that yeah, you're very excited, but there's other things there for you to consider before you move forward. Say thank you. Okay, so there's going to be insight that comes to you from an outside source, maybe from this person or maybe someone else. And this person will help you see a more profound way of looking at the situation. And so I think you'll be very, very grateful for the information that's coming in, for the insight you have. The next energy is have fun. I think that I get like this sometimes about some situations that I take so seriously, I almost forget to have fun in them. And so this is sort of coming to realize that like you need to have fun. You're getting so focused on what kind of a situation you're in that you're not enjoying the experience at all. And because of that, that's influencing your relationship with this person in a negative way. And so it's a good idea to loosen up and have fun. And that's going to come of its own energy anyway. It's going to come out anyway, because you'll realize that you're being so serious and you're maybe fighting for a good cause, and maybe there's a really good reason you're pushing for this. I think the person that asked the question was in a relationship with someone for 2 years. So for women, that's like an appropriate time to ask, like, are we serious? Are we just going to be friends? That's a really normal thing to expect after a certain period of time. But I think that that purpose can also overshadow just living life and living the experience. So you are going to have to confront the fact that things have gotten too serious, not with this person, but just for you and personally, and that you're putting in a lot of effort towards something, and it's making you so serious that you're not having fun. And so you're going to need to make some choices towards having fun again. And then that'll be very easy for you to let go any feelings of focus. It's almost like hyper focus towards achieving your goal. And then we have stick with it. Okay, so things are changing, but I feel like this relationship will continue for a while. And I think that maybe there are some new aspects that are about to evolve after everything happens. It was kind of like a chronological spread. But even if there's an eagle flying right outside of my window, like literally 15 feet away. That was so scenic. I saw a rainbow today and I saw geese. So it was like a blessing. Yeah. So I feel like that must be a good sign for you guys as well. I'll share the energy of the eagle. He was just floating, and you can see the sun's coming through, and it's been stormy. So it's like very, very beautiful. Okay. So that's a good sign for you guys. So take small steps, adjust your expectations to a more serious approach. But then also it's saying don't get too serious, and at some point you're going to let go. And then ultimately I think you're going to add to this relationship, to this relationship, new sides to things, to have more fun, to have more diversity. It's the need to move in together is going to shift for you, and it's going to be slightly different than what it is now. So you don't have to hurry in this situation. The future is unfolding in front of you. You will learn a lot more about this person, and also I think your expectations are going to modify with regard to where you're going with things. Okay, so that's number one. I hope you enjoyed this. I really enjoyed this. This was a fun coincidence. There are no coincidences, but I feel like, yeah, it's an ongoing process, and I think you learn a lot about yourself through it. Okay, so now we're going to move on to number two. Number two, let's take a look at your cards. So we have first, number two, Angel of Death, Azrael. Okay, so there's a change and transformation. Something's coming to an end. That might actually have to do with saying goodbye to an aspect of your life that is you're now moving behind. I feel like that resonates the most closely. Then we have the World card, which is the embrace card. So something from far away is coming towards you now, or possibly like your world's being opened up to new levels and new possibilities. And then we have the Four of Swords. Just breathe. There's a lot in front of you now. I feel like in this situation, I feel like it's almost overwhelming just how many facets are going to come into your life with regard to the decisions you're making. And so there's going to be a feeling of, wow, this is so much to take on, but I think you should keep on with it. I think it's coming to a happy ending. Then we have the Seven of Pentacles, daydreams, Seven of Cups, daydreams and decisions. Okay. And then we're going to have the solar plexus chakra. So I feel as though that it's almost like flooded and freeze. So if you don't know, in psychology, there's this state of flooding and freezing, and there's a hummingbird sitting right in front of me. So there's a state of flooding and freezing. And flooding is when you have a lot of stimulus that's coming into your life. And then when you get flooded emotionally or mentally for a really long time, and all your hormones start depleting or, burning out, then you start being kind of numb to it. Freezing is a little bit of a different thing. It's a response, but it ends up being the consequence of flooding is this kind of deadened feeling. So if you've ever been really mad, you probably, especially if you had features like, I don't know, you felt really angry about something, then your emotions would have been flooded. Your physically would have, been flooded with hormones and stuff. And after you're seriously mad, I mean really, really mad, then many people say they experience this period of numbness, right? So I feel like there's going to be like quiet in this situation that comes up. So you'll have a lot to say, a lot of information coming in, a lot to decide, and then it's going to shift into quiet and sort of looking inward and thinking about the things that have been said or the things that have been discussed. And then the solar plexus chakra means that you're going to take up a decision with regard to this situation in some respect. You're going to make a decision, take a step in the next direction, and just take the next step. Okay, so we have the Hanged Man energy first. So it feels like a lot's being offered, and then there's delays. And I'm not sure if those delays are coming from that person or if they're your delays in the situation. Then we have the Queen of Cups, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. Secondary transits in water too. But I feel like you may go through the process of soul searching in this situation, really wondering what's up. What does it mean to you? Like, what is going on? Think about what's going on and what does it mean. Just question what's going on and question and actually questioning also what you want. So to me, it looks like you're having a lot of intense conversations up front about this. And then something's going to come in that's going to put a pause on that. And that's going to make you really turn inside and think about what you want and question the choices you're making. Like, before I sign up for this, what do I want? Then there's the Two of Pentacles. And so carefully, you're going to start putting pieces together and we're getting ready to make a response. This response is going to be very fast. So you'll make some kind of very fast response, take a big step, take a big leap towards what you want. But I think that there's going to be a moment until when you deliberate and you decide on what you actually want and really second guess some things and really think about whether this is the situation you want, whether it's like really authentically the same as you perceive it, or if it is actually something else. And you're going to spend a lot of time trying to figure out your place and all that. And so then you'll take steps in order to move forward one way or another. And then I think that this person is going to make a bold move towards you in some way. I think that they'll probably offer something quite substantial, or initiate a very powerful conversation that will change your relationship with them. Okay? So they're going to take, there's going to be a lot of activity, a lot of discussion. Then something's going to go on pause. Then there's going to be a bunch of soul searching and like letting the situation chill for a minute. And then there's going to be this step forward in which this person and you also take sizable decisions with regard to what to do next. Okay? Then we have the inner calling energy. I think that you understand that this situation needs pause. I think that you understand that you both need to think about it and take some downtime with things. And I think that you feel that for within yourself. Like I said, this flooded and then also like not frozen but numb feeling after being flooded. It's like you have to get sort of back on track and focused with what you want, so you know that you're taking a smart step. So it's almost like you guys pop the idea and like you get so excited and you talk about it, and then you sort of take a step back and you say, well, wait a minute, like, is this good for me? Is this situation what I want? And that's a healthy step. You need to question things like this, and then you'll do the soul searching, and then you'll take a step forward one way or another, make a decision. Then we have liberation below the surface. I think that you're maybe thinking about what that means to you, what a relationship means to you, what a person, maybe you'll see in yourself, or maybe they'll see in themselves that there's more like why do I want this? What am I actually seeking in this situation? What am I actually here for? And so you need to ask yourself those questions, and I think so do they, to make sure that the decision that they're making is actually what they want. The next card is positive intention. So either you or they, probably both of you, are going to start things back up with a lot of like positive intention, a lot of initiating things, a lot of, how do you say, like putting in the effort to make something work. So there's going to be a quiet time in which probably both of you are going to think about it and then get the ball rolling again. And then he says believe. Belief is such a cornerstone of magic. So we have the magician there, and then we have the belief. So I feel like there is a definite step. And if you were to ask me, I think it's probably like a positive step rather than to end a situation. So I feel like there's a positive step forward. I feel like this is like knowing, like after thinking about it and then like confirming you actually want it because you took the time to think about it. Okay. And then we have say I'm sorry. Okay. So I don't know what that is about, but there might have to be a conversation about it with an apology attached to it. I feel like maybe there's like a misunderstanding or something that needs to be clarified. And I think that in some way provokes the question, like, what do you actually want? So everything is in synchronicity. Everything is happening as it should here. And then we have open your heart. And you can really do that on your own. To me, this whole phase, these two sections here, this one and this one, is all about getting in touch with your heart, getting in touch with yourself, and saying, like, what do I want? What do I want in this situation? Am I prepared to give? People say, oh, I want love. But it's like, do you want to give love? And I think that that's a very important step. So until you're prepared to give love, until you're prepared to love yourself or be more serious and give of yourself, give of yourself, give of yourself. That's a redundancy, sorry. But until you're ready to give of yourself, that was so silly. Then I feel like you have to just like maybe not be ready, or you have to make sure you're ready. And then we have say no. Wow, okay. I think there's a fear about saying no, and that's why there's a slow start. I think that it's like a lot of people, like both of you, have very sensitive feelings towards this situation. And I feel like whatever's happened made you a little bit cautious or weary or a little bit worried of rejection. And then the last card is decide the outcome. We have a lawyer, we have a judge, right? But he's sitting like at a table with maybe, it looks like he's like in a restaurant, not necessarily in a room of, in a court. So I feel like maybe this could be a lot more serious than what you're expecting. So if you're thinking of like moving in together, this could turn to marriage, or it might become a more serious conversation than you expect after you give it some thought, okay? So it's a change of situations, definitely. It's going to change one way or another, and there's a lot of soul searching in this option as well. So what you want, where you want to see things grow, what you're prepared to give, what you want for yourself moving forward, all of these things. Okay, so that's number 2. Okay, and that's your option as well, number 2. And then number 3. Hi, number 3, welcome to my channel. We'll start with this one. So let's find out if what's going to happen if you move into together with this person. Should I move in together? I think I called it that. Let me see. What did I call it? I forget. It's like, should we move in together? That's it. And other serious things. The idea is, should this relationship become more serious? Okay. So we have, which is Chased, the right hand, the card of empathy. Okay. So I feel like it's very lucky for you at this time. Things are, there's a real compassion towards one person, or both people feel a great compassion towards each other. So it's not an easy decision. It's motivated through altruism, like helping out the other person, or wanting to be a positive force of change for someone else. That's the core energy. Okay, so we have the base chakra. I feel one or both people are searching for like their space. One or both of you don't really have roots yet. You don't feel like, maybe you've lived somewhere, but you don't feel like you're a part of the community. And so you feel dislodged from where you are. And so maybe one or both of you have recently rooted down to something. Maybe you found somewhere that's yours. And I have a feeling that it's taken a while to find that. So you were sort of without community or your place for a long time. And I feel one of you or both of you may have recently found something like that. And so it feels almost like, you feel, one or both of you feel like it's a big risk to take, to say, yes, I want this relationship or pursue this, because I think one or both of you, again, have this, how do you say this? One or both of you have this, you don't want to risk it, okay? You don't want to risk what you have just because it's taken so long in order to get it. So it's all about, like, it's so hard to find your place, and to give it up for somebody else, it's like a big risk to take, and somebody's thinking about that. Then we have the Sun. Okay, that's a very, very positive card. So I feel like it's like really giving of yourself, or maybe wanting to share with each other the place you have found. Maybe your bond is about being sort of in diaspora. Diaspora is the feeling of homelessness, not like on the street, but the energy of like culturally like dispersed, or the diaspora had a lot to do with like the Jewish diaspora. That was how it was first used, the context. But it's true for many different cultures, how people have, immigrants are in diaspora, like expats and people who live abroad. And many people from within countries are also in diaspora, from their hometowns, from their families, those kinds of things. So I feel like this is, maybe you want to give the other person home. Maybe you want to give the other person, like one person wants to give the other person home and a stable place, and that brings them a lot of joy. The idea of that. This is Jupiter, so it feels very like empathetic, very sympathetic, understanding the purpose. And it's not like empathy in that sense that like patronizing, it's like a real compassion for somebody else's experience, okay? And then we have the moon, which is confront. That's crazy that both of these are here, okay? So I feel like I think that one or both of you have real issues with like where home actually is, like who is your community, or who is your tribe. And so I feel like there's a real zest and zeal towards bringing that, towards giving someone that sense of purpose, the sense of grounding. But I think soon enough, one or both of you are going to come into the realization that there's something more in this for you or them, and you're going to have to answer some tough questions before moving forward. So it's like, at first it's like, yes, let's do it, let's be positive, and then it's like, well, wait a minute, like, am I holding this person back maybe, or is this really my place? There's some kind of question that starts coming up about, you know, your altruistic decision to be benefic towards each other. And then we have Mars and Gemini again, the darkest fears. So I think somebody has pretty cold feet towards this situation. Maybe at first they thought it was a great idea, and then suddenly they may have feelings or even fears towards this circumstance. When you see, it's almost like looking at it from a different perspective. Then we have the Eight of Swords. And so I think that somebody has major barriers to achieving something they want out of life. And so that's the initial motivation to help them get over these barriers so they can have a free life. There's something in their way that's really overwhelming. Below the surface is the Four of Swords. So basically what's going to happen is that people are going to take a rest and think about what's going on and be like, maybe I said things too quickly, or maybe I was too excited right up the bat, and now I have to think about this. That doesn't mean it's a deal breaker. It just means that somebody's taking a step back to figure out whether the things in their way are too much in order to bring this other element into the situation. Then we have the Knight of Swords, Gemini, Aquarius, or Libra. Secondary transits in air, Gemini, Aquarius, and Libra. Don't let your mind get away from you. So if you're the one who's doubting, I feel like the person who's doubting has a real chip on their shoulders. And I really am called to say, I usually don't say it like that, but if they could just think outside of like how they're looking at things, things would be much better. So I do feel like somebody has real doubts or worries, and their mind turns in on itself. And if you're on the other side of that, then know that that person, that's a pathology. Like that person is doing that over and over to themselves. So it's not against you. The reason they're doing it is that they have some block to this. Some people have a fear of commitment. Some people have other issues going on, but there's definitely some kind of barrier that they have to get through in order to get to where they're going. Then we have the Ace of Pentacles. There's going to be a breakthrough in this situation. So I think it's going to get dark. I think it really seems to me like one person has issues with commitment. It could be with a past circumstance that made them afraid to open up, or it could be something else that is causing the rift. Fears, anxieties, a mind running wild, that can be the Knight of Swords. So whoever it is, there is someone who's getting cold feet, but there's going to be a turnaround with the Ace of Pentacles. So something's going to come in. It's almost like you're excited about it, and then someone starts freaking out, and then they almost ruin it. But then you like find the perfect place to move into together, or like some other opportunity. Maybe if they have to come from far away, then there's like a financial opportunity for them. And so that just adds, momentum to the situation in a positive way. So yeah, I think somebody has like a very doubtful mind, and a mind that sort of runs crazy with, possibilities and ideas. And although those are very smart people, in this situation, I feel like it's a mind that defeats itself. It's a mind that sort of is doubting itself and creating, it's called like manifest destiny, or when you like make an assumption. A hummingbird just came up, sorry. I can't help it, they're so cute. They're so little and like they're feisty. But it's manifest destiny, which means like you believe something and then it comes into reality. So it's like this, yeah, it's a really weird vibe. Then we have the light energy. So I think that someone is definitely, or both people are very motivated by positive things in this situation. They want a good outcome, they want a good situation. And then we have awareness, which is the Four of Swords. But you need that. I think it's like, I've done this before. You get excited about something and you make a bunch of decisions, and then like the sun comes up. No, no, I'm just a joke. But like the sun comes up and you just come to like realize, or you come into awareness that something is, it's maybe different, and maybe there's some holes, or maybe you're just not ready. So yeah, there's you need that moment to really think about the decision you're making. And then we have the door to the infinite. Okay, so I feel like someone said something to one of you, or maybe both of you had this experience that really blocked your progress in the past. It's almost like being around someone mean that kind of left you doubtful and psyching you out. No one says that anymore, but that means like throwing doubt in your way so that you question. It's kind of gaslighting, right? Throwing doubt in your way so that you question which way you're going. And so the point is that getting connected with the possibility is the solution to the problem. So there's nothing wrong in this relationship except the doubt. And the doubt is coming from some dark place, from some shadow place, a bad experience, a bad way of thinking. Somebody's psyched out. And then we have moving towards the light. So yeah, there's going to be a quick movement forward for the better. And that's going to happen because an external influence is going to come in, some kind of opportunity, and give movement to this situation. So fill the well. Okay. I think that in these initial steps, when you first make this decision, I think you should throw at it as much positivity as you can. If it works out, it works out. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But give it a good go. You have the base chakra, the shine card, the sun. You have a possibility to build a big life together. And so that's when you should be applying the most amount of energy. Not everything is going to be perfect. There might be some limitations, but your initial effort should be like full of excitement, and don't worry so much. Don't worry so much is what I'm getting. Love your body. Oh no. So is it self-esteem issue? Self-esteem or doubt. I think I sense doubt. I sense doubt. I sense like someone who has like internal struggles with things, struggles that are big enough to stop them from going to do things or doing things a certain way. And so if this is you that's doing it, then try to fix it, or try to see it from a different perspective, or try to resolute it. But if it's the other person, then I think that I don't see you as taking it personally. I think you know exactly where they're coming from or why they're being the way they are. Then we have drop it, which is the energy. That has to do with like whatever harmful words or ideas came across, they need to be let go of, right? They really need to be, whatever limiting thoughts are afflicting this situation, the person who's experiencing that has to like step away from that experience or the memories that are coming up, and the outcome is give more, give more. So I think that there's going to be definitely a step forward. I feel like it probably involves taking actions and not talking so much about things. And I feel like there's an external influence, as I said, that's going to come in that's going to help things a lot much more quickly. So in summary, it feels like at first you feel your instincts are good about it. I think that they're like, this is great, I want to go, and all this stuff. And then the doubt sets in. I think both people have maybe shyness, maybe shy, they're shy or discouraged by past experiences, and so not quick to take that next step. But then it's a good timing thing. So as you start doubting, some really good incentives show up. I took this apartment once with my friend, and it was like right around the holidays, Easter time, and I was like ready to not do it, right? And I was living in a pretty good place to live, but I always wanted to live downtown. So basically I was about to dip and leave, and then because of the holidays there was like so much more to choose from because nobody was looking for an apartment at that time, and I found like such a great apartment. And even though I was ready to like say this isn't for me, I went for it, and I ended up staying there for 10 years. So, you know, it was a really good experience overall, especially the first part of that. So other things happened after, but yeah, no, so, and I stayed downtown after anyway. So yeah, it's, I think that, and I always kind of knew downtown was my place to live, you know, and so that was another learning. That's not to do with this, but it was like that doubt, and then just the timing of things was so good. So this really reminds me of this, like, almost like it's not working, you're doubting, you're like, nah, this is too crazy, but then it starts to really make sense, and some factors are going to make it a good decision. So awesome. So I think this is a really good place to stop, and the sun's coming out, so good vibes for you. Woo, okay. So I wish you guys all the best, and make sure to hit like, comment, subscribe. This is the Pick a Card channel, so subscribe here. And to the member that asked about this, I hope it helps. Okay. Thanks guys. Talk to you soon. Bye.